boss. Appreciate it. Well, this is Tuesday press conference for us, so kind of that part of it's normal. This part of it is not. Not used to coming into an empty room here and miss everybody being here in person. Can they hear me? Hello? Testing? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. Oh, y'all can hear me? Okay. All right. There you go. Somebody was saying they couldn't hear me there.
They're good. One issue.
They're good? Okay. All right. Well, again, I was just saying, this is our normal Tuesday press conference, but certainly not normal in the fact that we got an empty room. Miss all my friends up in the top corner there, and miss being with everybody in person. But thankful and grateful that it's finally game week. Game week is always special, and to be honest with you, opening day, of anything is always special, and that's really, I think, the mindset that our team has embraced this year is every day's opening day. Every day's opening day, and just trying to win the day one day at a time, and this team has really embraced that, and but like I said, every year the opening week is special. There's so much to do and to get ready for that first game and to kind of get everybody in a rhythm for the season and in sync. But this year has been like none other in that regard. And I'm just super, super excited about it. Probably as excited about this opening week as my very first one as a head coach. Just because of all that's taken to get here. I mean, I'm super proud of all the people in our organization, from President Clements all the way down, and our staff, our support staff, and all that has taken place to get us to this point. And really proud of our team. These guys have been amazing, and I've seen our culture, win the day, if you will, through this tough time that we've all dealt with, since March. And this is a very close football team. This is a well-led team, a very smart team, and it's an excited team, and it's a committed team. And I can't wait to see them play, and get to do what they love to do, to be able to get back to doing something that they love. It's really exciting to be at this point. So, see where we are. It's the first game, obviously, and it's an opener. Openers are always the toughest games to me, just because you have no tape. You're basing everything on last year's schemes, last year's personnel. There's always new people that you have not seen any tape. You have more time to prepare for the first game than you do any other game. So to me, it's always the toughest game to get ready for. But we're excited about it. And then you're going on the road, man. You're going to a place at Wake. If you look at what they've done at home, they've been a very tough team to beat at home. And but at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere. And I want to see where we are, and then see what we need to do to improve. So it's just awesome that it's finally here. Wake Forest is a very well-coached team. I got a lot of respect for Coach Clausen, and he and I have spent a lot of time together, since March, because we've been on a couple different weekly meetings for a long time. Even still, got a meeting tomorrow. So he and I have spent a lot of time together, and just already had a lot of respect for him, but it's grown even more, as I've got to know him on a different level. But a very well-coached team. Been to 4 straight bowl games, 3-1 in those games. Could have been 4-0. Had a tough loss last year in the bowl game. Started out 7-1 last year. And like I said, have been very, very good at home in particular. So they got a good football team coming back. Defensively is their strength. I think they've got 9 of their starters back, guys that have played a lot of football for them. And then over on the offensive side, probably one of the most unique schemes and philosophies that we play as far as their style of play and what they do. Hartman, their quarterback, obviously Newman left, But listen, Hartman is a really good player. We've seen him, got a lot of respect for him. His leadership, he's incredibly committed and invested into the program there, and he's a great leader. You know, he can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his feet. Wake Forest, when I think of them, they've always been physical. They pride themselves on that. In fact, I think if you looked at our game last year, I thought they won the second quarter in our game, and then we had a couple of big plays. But these guys have a lot of fight to them. And, again, very well coached on both sides of the ball schematically and know how to create problems. So, for us, we've got to be ready to play. We do have an experienced group on offense, starting with our quarterback and that first group in that OL. So, hopefully those guys will be able to settle in early. We got to do a good job as coaches, make the right adjustments, and go from there. And then we've got a lot of new starters defensively that are going to be getting their first opportunity, and then a lot of guys that are getting bigger roles for the first time. So it'll be exciting to see how it all plays out. But again, just thankful to have the opportunity to get back to the season and hopefully for us accomplish our very first goal, which is to win the opener. And with that, I'll take your questions.
You probably would always win the most upbeat coach of the award at this time of the year every year, but relative to your Clemson teams, how do you feel about this bunch, again, relative to your Clemson best teams?
This is a special group. I mean, no team that I've ever had has had to battle through the challenges and adversities that this group has had to battle through and manage and process and all those things. So, this is a very, very strong team, very close. Probably the most communicative team that I've had, simply because of, again, that we've been forced, with this virus and all these things, to have to communicate in totally different ways. We've never done Zoom and things like that, and so I just think that this team, and then I think they have an appreciation that's very different. Not that the other teams did not have that. I think our teams certainly have all, one of the core values that we have is just a genuine appreciation for each other and for the opportunity to do what we do. But I think with what we've all experienced, in our world since March and everything being shut down, and all of a sudden you just, you're not getting it. You can't do what you want to go do and what you love to do, and all the things that everyone has had to deal with, from a lack of knowledge to fear to you name it. This team, I think, has a deep, deep appreciation for the opportunity to play ball and the opportunity to practice, the opportunity to meet. So there's a great spirit to this team. These guys have fought. They've literally fought for their season. They fought to play. And there's nobody that has to be here, and everybody's here. And I just think that speaks volumes for our program, but also for their love and respect for each other. And so I think the biggest thing, Gene, is just we're always upbeat at this time of year for sure, but I just think there's a deeper level of appreciation and gratefulness for the opportunity to go play.
Hi, Dabo. This is Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports. Your quarterback's always a leader on the field, but I wonder how, from your view, Trevor became, a leader on the team for social justice and some of this other stuff, to now he's a national voice for these players. I don't know if you'd agree, but how did that process take place?
Well, I mean, a very natural process. I mean, certainly the nature of his position, puts him in a leadership role. But just because you're a quarterback don't make you a leader. Just because you're a senior, that doesn't make you a leader. Just because you're a freshman, that doesn't mean you're not a leader. So I just think it's been a very natural thing for him. It's something that comes natural to him. He's been a leader for a long time. He's always had a bright light on himself. He's got an incredible foundation to his life. His mom and dad have done a wonderful job with him. He's strong in his faith. He's matured. He's grown. He communicates well with everyone. And when you come in that position, first thing you got to do is kind of earn the trust and respect of your teammates and your coaches. And then you got to, eventually become the starter. Now you got to become a leader of your offense. And then eventually you hope, like other great players we've had come through here, you become a leader of the team. We've had a lot of guys in that situation. But, again, just the world has presented more of an opportunity for him to become more of a national leader, just simply, again, because of the platform that he has, the maturity that he has, where he is relative to his career, and then again, just what all's going on in the world, and so these young people communicate. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are; they can everybody knows who he is, and I think that it's been awesome that he's been willing to listen to other people's perspectives and players, and not afraid to help be a voice, for the things that he certainly believes in.
Also, a football question, real quick. How unique is it going to be having Notre Dame in the league? And are you, as a fan or a coach, going to check their scores every week? I know you have to play them, but are you going to sneak a look?
Well, I sneak a look at everybody's scores in our league. I really do. I mean, I'm happy that they're in the league. Heck, I wish they were a permanent member in the league. To be honest with you, I think it'd be great. But Notre Dame is obviously, one of the best programs in the history of college football. So I think it's a unique year. It's a unique situation, and this year we have no divisions. We have 15 teams, but every week I always keep up with the ACC and what's going on. So typically I may not be checking on Notre Dame every week, but this year certainly be paying a little closer attention. Because not only do we play them, but they're in our league.
CUTigers.com here. You list Brian Brzee as a co-starter at defensive tackle. What does it say about him as a player that he can come in and earn that type of trust from you and Coach B?
Well, it just says a lot about how prepared he was when he got here. Says a lot about his, just natural gifts that he has, his ability to, pick it up. I mean, we ask a lot of these guys defensively. It's a very complex system, and sometimes it's not as easy to come in and play to your potential early, just because there's so much to learn. But once you get it, you've got a chance to be special, and we've seen that with many guys. But Brian's pretty unique in that he was able to make the adjustment physically. He was ready the day he got here. I mean, he is just a special physical talent. I mean, you're not going to see many young defensive tackles that can move like him, have his size, have his natural strength, have the athleticism, the violence, all those things. I mean, he brings to the position. But again, his ability to process and make the adjustments from a scheme standpoint have been impressive. And a big thing is he was able to come in January and had a lot to learn, fundamentally, technically, schematically, and he just put the work in. So it says that, hey, he worked his tail off, from January to now, so that he could be in a better position to compete, at his highest potential as a freshman. And so I'm excited about him. He's very, very talented, a big energy guy, and he's going to bring a lot to our defense for sure.
Yeah, well, this is Pete at AP. Was wondering with some of the things that
No, I didn't worry about anything like that with Trevor because again, he's a very thoughtful, very communicative young man. Always seeks guidance. He knows where he is as far as his walk in life and his maturity and what he has been exposed to and those type of things. And he's, like I said, communicates, listens, seeks advice, but very mature. Very mature. You never have to worry about Trevor. He's always gonna do what's right and speak from his heart and continue to learn as he goes. But never any concerns for me at all, especially when it comes to take anything taken away from football. This guy's there's nobody loves football more than Trevor Lawrence. I can assure you that, and that's one of the reasons he's fought so hard for this season. He loves to play, and not only does he love to play, what makes him so great is he loves to prepare to play. He likes to practice. He likes to meet. He likes to study. So never any issues from that standpoint.
Coach Joe Gorcha, WIS, I hope you're doing well this morning. In terms of the season itself, I'm curious, how will you handle, in terms of the football responsibilities the players have, along with their willingness and want to share their voice for social change? How do you allow that to facilitate that type of movement during the course of a rigorous football season?
Well, I mean, we have routine. I think routine is very, very important. These guys thrive on that. They crave structure. They crave routine. They really do. And, we've had a culture here for a long, long time that is incredibly well established, has served us well, and will continue to do that. It's really not any different for us. The only thing that's different this year for us is the seniors, because of what you're talking about, they decided to change the social media policy. Usually every year people write bad articles because they think I created the social. I never created our social media policy. It's always been by the players. I just support them, and it's been that way for a long, long time. This year, because of all those things that everyone is dealing with, these guys felt like it was important that they changed it, and I certainly supported them in that. I have no issues with that at all. They just talked about it they got up, they had a meeting of their own last night, after practice, and the seniors on addressing the team on now that we're into game week, what they want the policy to be. So they're all on the same page, but the biggest thing is they all respect the culture we have, and they all believe in it, and they all respect what we have to do to get ready week in and week out, and understand that. So our leadership, our seniors have done a great job, and they'll continue to use their voice in ways that are important and meaningful, but definitely they understand, they light those scoreboards up for a reason, and they're going to do everything they can to prepare to go win.
Now that it's game week, is there one position group that you would say I'm concerned about, or I really want to see and I want to watch, in this first game?
I'm distracted because of your pirate hat there. I'm not sure I caught the question. What did he say? I was admiring your background there. What did he say? One position group that I'm concerned about? Is that what he said?
Is there a certain position group that you would be concerned about that you really want to see in action?
Yes.
Saturday?
Yes.
Just to kind of see what they do?
Yes. Our depth in the OL. I feel really, really good about our first group, but we've got to develop the second group. We got to get them some experience. And so I can't wait to see those guys. I can't wait to see Walker Parks and Mitchell Mays and T.O. and some of those young guys in that second group that's going to get a chance to play. I'm excited that Blake Vinson's back, and he missed a lot of camp, kind of working back from his knee, but now he's full go, and so I'm excited. He hasn't been able to play in a long time, so I'm excited for him to kind of start working his way back in there a little bit as we go as well. And so, that's probably the biggest group that that I think we've got to grow up pretty quick, and I know the least about from a game day standpoint.
This is Matt with the state. You guys made a decision on the backup quarterback, and you want to get both of those guys some work early in the year to try to get some experience.
Well, we Streeter is kind of told me who he wants to run out there second if that presented itself, that opportunity. So I support him in that. I mean, all I can tell you is all three of the guys we got, I believe in. I'd have no problem with any of those guys running out there. We're going to rep all three guys, all fall camp. I think that's going to be important. We got to have guys ready to play. We got to get Hunter Helms ready as well. He was a preferred walk-on that came in here. So, we've got to develop as much depth at that position and get as much experience at that position as we can. Obviously, Tyson, got to play 4 games last year, but still needs a lot of experience. DJ's just getting here. So we definitely, hope to, play as many of those guys as we can, as often as we can, but certainly the games dictate that. But I do know who our starter is going to be, and if we get the opportunity to see who goes out there next, and we'll see who old Coach Street runs out there.
Dabo, this is Grace with The Athletic. Speaking of Trevor, just for someone who has accomplished everything that he has already done in just 2 years, what does the next level on the field look like for someone like him?
Yeah, just complete ownership of every detail of the game. Pre-snap, post-snap, communication, protections, being just fanatical about the details when it comes to your fundamentals, your footwork, your ball handling, your fakes, carrying out your fakes, all those things. That's really what it looks like. The game really slowing down, not getting fooled. And again, that comes from experience. And he certainly has a ton of experience under his belt now. And, it should show. Not making some of the careless mistakes. He took a few chances last year that, he really didn't need to take. So eliminating some of those things is what you hope to see. And then just complete leadership in every aspect. I think you've seen that from him, and we'll continue to see that.
Trevor, again, you talked about what a great spring Cornell Powell had, and he really followed that up and continued it all through August camp and then practice. How excited are you to see him on Saturday night to transition and take that onto the field?
I'm really excited for Cornell. He's worked really hard. It's been fun to watch him transform and grow and mature, and be coachable, and really grow in the areas that he needed to grow in as a football player to earn the opportunity. And he's done that. He's had an excellent camp, and so I'm real excited. He's one of those guys I'm super excited for. I really think he's going to have an excellent year, and he's taking advantage of every opportunity, every practice to come out and practice full speed. And when you practice full speed, that translates to game day when you're as talented as he is. So really happy for him, proud of him, and excited to see him play a very meaningful role in this team.
Dabo, go ahead, Larry. Hey, sorry, Phil. Dabo, how would you compare DJ sort of to Trevor and Deshaun at the same point going into their freshman years, just in terms of their ability to process things and how they performed on the practice fields?
Very similar, very similar. He's just 250, He's just physically ahead of where those guys were. And but from a mental standpoint, he's very, very similar.
Hey, Dabo, it's Phil Kornblum. What was your reaction when you read or heard the commentary, the reports about
Yeah, I heard about that from Ross. Reaction was just, laughed at it, had a little fun with Trevor, and but man, I'm not worried about the AFC or NFC. I don't even know what they are. I'm seriously just excited about getting ready for the Deacons. That's it. But we had some fun with it.
Hello, Coach. This is Tyrese with Clemson Sports Talk. In the past, you said that you would be open to scrimmages against other schools. Do you kind of approach this game like it was that type of game, especially since there are no fans and players can't draw energy from or react to the crowd?
Absolutely not. I approach this game like any other opener we've had ever, because it's going to count. This is, scrimmages. You don't have a scoreboard. Somebody keeps stats, but we don't really, we control situations and things like that. I would love that, in the spring or even in fall camp if you could have, one get together with another team and so you're not 100% invested with your personnel. Every time somebody grabs an ankle, it's always one of your guys. But, where you could do some 7-on-7, some team pass, some blitz pickup, and some controlled stuff, controlled scrimmage type work. I'd be all for that. But I don't know. I don't look at this. This is there may not be any fans there, but like I said, that scoreboard's going to be lit up, and there'll be millions watching on TV. In fact, this will probably be the most watched college football season ever, and probably the most watched Clemson-Wake Forest game ever. That's for sure. So, no, this is just like any other opener to me as far as that aspect of it.
It's Andrea Adelson with ESPN. Just wondering how the team is looking health-wise going into Saturday, and whether you're going to be missing anybody due to testing or contact tracing or anything like that.
Yeah, well, it's a very unique year in that regard, and usually I'm always very transparent when it comes to who's available, who's not, and all that stuff. But there'll definitely be some guys not available, I think, every week for every team, and it can change. Occasionally we'll have some guys, like a Luke Price who's out for the year, and we'll certainly are open about those things, or a situation like we were dealing with Xavier Thomas. But other than that, we'll have a few guys that I'm sure will not be able to play for whatever reason, whether it's some type of short-term type of injury thing or COVID protocols, whether they've had it or quarantine or whatever it may be, and that'll probably be the case from week to week. So and almost day to day, for all of us coaches. So I think kind of what everybody seems like is decided to do is, game day, just kind of, hey, here's who's available, here's who's not, and let's go play.
Coach Swinney, this is Riley Morningstar over with the Seneca newspaper, and I was just curious, with students moving in starting Friday back on campus, do you have any heightened concern about the virus maybe coming back into town a little bit more, and have you discussed that new component with the players yet?
Oh, absolutely. We've talked a lot about that, and I know that the students aren't necessarily in our housing yet, but they've been here. Our students have been back for over a couple weeks now, and the reason I know that is I get on 123 and I can't move because there's traffic. So they're all, we have lots of off-campus housing here in Clemson. And so, they've been back for a while. And I think there's probably even some students that are here that are staying with friends and things like that, just waiting to move into their dorms. But we definitely have spent a lot of time talking to our guys. Our guys have done a great job. They really have. We had a couple guys, I think we've had 4 guys since, early July. And we had a couple guys last week. We had none this week. And testing has ramped up big time, so, we're testing Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and who knows, hopefully at some point we may be testing every day. But we've talked a lot about it, and, everybody has to, take ownership and do a great job of following protocols and we have a great bubble, if you will, here, but keeping their circle tight when they're away from here, and just protecting themselves, protecting the team, and even you can do everything right and you can still get it, but we need to not do unnecessary things to continue to give ourselves the best chance week in and week out, and our guys have really done a great job with that. So super proud of them. And again, the students have been back, so they've been managing that, very well these last few weeks.
Hey, Dabo, it's Pete again. If you, just Dabo, what was it like being able to share that moment with Deshaun and that Zoom call, and did that put things in perspective for you as you prepare to start the season?
It was fun, that was kind of cool. They really wanted to surprise him, and it was neat being. I'd actually talked to him that morning, which was crazy. I didn't even know I was doing it till that afternoon, but that morning I'd actually called him, and we talked about what was going on, because it was, I think, Saturday morning right before we were getting ready to go to practice, it broke, and so it was good to be able to call him and just have a little short conversation and congratulate him and a couple laughs. So that was even better, because, like I said, I'd already talked to him, but a chance to just be a part of that moment with him was special. Really proud of him, and not surprised at all. I mean, he's a great young man. He's so relentless when it comes to his pursuit of excellence in everything he does, and being a great leader, being a great quarterback, leading his team, and excited to see him play, I guess, Thursday night. And excited to see him win a Super Bowl at some point. That's coming. I don't know when, but that's coming for him, and be another great moment. But proud of all of our guys. To me, it's all about just seeing these guys leave our program and go on. And I think last year we had 100% job placement. This year I think we're at 90% right now as we sit. With a couple guys still pending. So I take pride in all of our guys, whether they go on to the NFL and achieve their dreams there, or starting their careers, buying their first homes, getting married, having children, whatever it is. I love just being a part of the journey of all these guys.
Hey, Dabo, it's Pete again. I don't know if you watched any of that BYU Navy game yesterday, but the Navy coach kind of blamed the performance on their conservative approach about contacts and contact practices, things like that. I was wondering how you handle contact practices this preseason or this off season in regard to the virus and wanting to keep guys fresh.
I mean, we just did what we've always done. I didn't really change anything from a practice standpoint. The only thing that really changed was the pace of how we did things at practice, just simply because we had more time. So, what I used to get done in 2 weeks, I was able to do in 3.5 weeks, for example. But as far as how we practice, how we prepare, nothing changed in that regard. Early on in camp, I had a little bit more conditioning type stuff to do to get the team. When you do it for a long time, you just have certain instincts, and you just kind of have a feel for, where your team is and when to push and when to pull back. And so I think every year it's different. But this year, again, with so much more time, I didn't want it to get to where it was a grind. I tried to keep it fun and exciting for them, and I literally changed the pace of installation, the pace of what we do to get ready. But as far as how we practice, we haven't done anything different.
We'll take one final question for Coach.
Coach, I guess I'll ask it. Obviously, going to be no fans in the stands on Saturday night.
Listen, I really don't care. Man, I'm just excited to play. I mean, they can pipe in Marvin Gaye or whatever they want, man. Let's crank it up. I'm just excited that we get the opportunity to play. And, I know there's a policy and levels and all that stuff, but, man, we're just looking forward to it. Fans, no fans. We're just trying to win the opener and, move on from there. I look forward to it.